You're listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. She is passionate, direct, and sometimes a little sarcastic, but always gives you what you need to succeed in business. Now, here's your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today's episode 009, Affirmations, Programming a Mindset Capable of Success. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to take consistent, massive, focused action in your business and life, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. And if you're back and you are a repeat listener, I'm so glad you're here today. As a reminder, my episode has multiple formats, and today's episode is me doing a solo episode for you. I do solo episodes to teach you strategies and insights on how to increase your productivity to maximize your profits. But I also have on here entrepreneurs that are just like you who want to share their productivity challenges and let you know how they overcame them and how that has impacted the growth of their business. And then I also interview experts on all levels of productivity, time management, and success. So the formats change up on every single episode between solo podcast episodes like this and interview episodes where we're bringing in experts or entrepreneurs just like you. I know I said that in my introductory podcast, but I just realized that many of you have probably not gone all the way back to episode 000 to hear what you can expect from this podcast. My goal today is for you to learn how to create affirmations so that you can reprogram your mind for success. I'm looking forward to this episode because I'm going to be sharing with you the power affirmations have over your success, the link between your thoughts and your results, how to create transformative affirmations, and why it's necessary to reprogram those negative self-talks that we all have from time to time. So let's dive right in and get straight to it. We are going to begin with the power affirmations have over your success. Some of the most successful people in the world have been quoted saying they do affirmations and/or visualization of their success. Oprah Winfrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jim Carrey, Will Smith. Those are just a few of the common household names that we may all recognize. However, successful people in every industry across the world have harnessed the power of affirmations, and you can too. You may be listening and thinking, what are affirmations? Affirmations are inspirational, positive statements you say or think about yourself. Affirmations are reminders to your unconscious mind to stay focused on your goals and to come up with the solution to challenge your obstacles that might get in the way of you achieving those goals. Whether you know it or not, you're always using affirmations. But unfortunately, usually they're not ones that will bring you what you want. It's that negative self-talk, the recordings in our head that we say to ourselves throughout the entire day or when certain situations come up. Not only are you internally repeating affirmations, those around you may be speaking negative or positive affirmations to you. Let's begin with the definition of affirmations. The root word is affirm, and affirm is defined this way. State as a fact, assert strongly and publicly. Number 2, offer someone emotional support or encouragement. So when you say affirmations, the words you choose to say are affirming as if it's a fact and said strongly and sometimes publicly. This is in a way offering yourself emotional support or encouragement for you to reach your goals or to achieve the vision of success you have for yourself. Perhaps you know what affirmations are, or you're aware of affirmations and you haven't tried them out for yourself. And you've seen people maybe do them on TV or videos or talk about them, and you're saying to yourself, how could those cheesy affirmations help me? Well, the truth is that some of them out there are extremely cheesy, but you have to make them your own. I have found that to be the magic and how affirmations work best. Anything that sounds cheesy or isn't in line with your goals or what your vision of success is may be a little bit on the cheesy side. And so I recommend that you create your own personal affirmations based on some of the negative self-talk that you may have in your head, perhaps things that have been told to you, and align them with the goals that you're trying to achieve. I get it. I never felt comfortable saying affirmations that were created by others. So I researched how they work to reprogram the mind for success and decided to create my own and not use those that have been created by others because it felt like I was using somebody else's words. It felt like I was trying to use somebody else's script. And the truth is that if you've listened to past episodes about goal setting that I have done in episode 005, I told you goals that are other people's goals do not resonate with you either. You have to be authentic to who you are and what your vision of success is. And what that means is you really have to get to know what drives you. And that's your big why. And that's episode 003. They all tie together, but they root together and by asking yourself what it is you really, really want and then creating that success for yourself. Daily affirmations to the mind are like exercise are to the body. It's not something that you do and it's one and done. It's not something that you can say, oh, I did last week. It is affirmations need to be done every single day so that you're reprogramming your mind to think in those positive, affirming thoughts. Repeating affirmations helps to reprogram the unconscious mind for success. Next, the link between thoughts and results. Affirmations eliminate negative and limiting beliefs and transform your comfort zone from a limited one, keeping you in mediocrity, to a more expanded one where anything is possible. It helps replace the can'ts, I can't, I don't, to I can, I am. And what once felt impossible will soon to feel very possible. In the sequence of thought, speech, action, affirmations play an integral role by breaking patterns of negative thoughts, negative speech, and in turn, negative actions. T. Harv Eker has a quote that summarizes this very powerfully. Your programming leads to your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions lead to your results. Therefore, just as done with a personal computer, by changing your programming, you are taking the first essential step to changing your results. So let me summarize that again for you. Your programming leads to your thoughts lead to your feelings, and your feelings lead to actions, and your actions lead to results. That is powerful because we often focus on the results and the action. But before the action is how we feel. And if our feelings are negative or up and down from day to day, our actions are going to be inconsistent and up and down every day. And how we believe and the thoughts that we have in our unconscious mind dictate how we feel. So if you take it all the way back and address with affirmations the reprogramming of our thoughts, then we will feel differently. And once you feel differently, you're going to take different actions in your life, both business and personal, and most likely be more consistent with the action you take because you're not dependent on feelings that go up and down. The fact is that some of you are saying things like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm out of time. I never have enough time. I'm never getting caught up. I have too much to do. You keep affirming that, and it's that vicious cycle that the truth is you will always be out of time because that is the reality that you feel that you're in. You may also have some negative affirming thoughts about being an entrepreneur or to asking for the sale. Or are you a good enough coach? Are you a good enough real estate professional? Do you know what you need to know to service your clients? Those are repeated thoughts that go on in our heads. And once those take hold, then generally you have inaction. You freeze and you're not taking action in your business to grow it. Honestly, the negative self-talk and examples I could give you are endless. So what I want you to do is take an audit of the negative self-talk that you're currently hearing in your mind. And what we're going to do is flip that upside down and create affirmations to battle that and reprogram that thinking. Next, why it's necessary to reprogram your negative self-talk. Just what I said. Because negative self-talk is all around us. It's either internal or it's what people say to us. Maybe you had an angry client situation, or perhaps it was your parents as a child, or your siblings, or children on the playground when you were a child. Negative self-talk surrounds us. It's either internal or external, but it affects us on some level. And so you do have control over that. You can keep that at bay and not have that belief for yourself. And that's through affirmations. Saying daily affirmations helps reprogram our negative self-talk so that we can manifest a more positive thinking, feeling, and experience in our lives. In essence, positive affirmations are positively framed statements that are spoken in the present tense about you and who you want to be. Every thought you think, every word you speak is an affirmation. Our self-talk, our internal dialogue is a stream of affirmations, both positive and negative. Using your affirmations every moment, whether you know it or not. A lot of what we normally say and think is quite negative and doesn't create good experiences for us. We have to retrain our thinking and speaking into positive patterns or it's never going to change. The magic of this is you absolutely have the power to create your own affirmations based on where you're at and the internal dialogue that you have for yourself. The next section we go into is I'm going to outline how you can create affirmations for yourself, customized affirmations that will work. I've created a free resource for you that you can download, and this is going to help take your business and your mindset to the next level, no doubt. And so I've created an affirmation creation guide, and you can download that by going to theproductivityspecialist.com/009 download. Again, you can download the affirmation creation guide by going to theproductivityspecialist.com/009 download. So go get yours right after you hear this podcast episode and do the work to create your own personalized affirmations so that you can change the programming that will change your thoughts, which will change your feelings, which will change your actions, and at the end will change the results you see in your business and life. Next, how to create transformative affirmations. 8 steps to this. First, create your affirmations in the present tense. I am. Say them as if they already exist for you in the present moment. Our minds do not know the difference between your future, which has not happened yet, or the past. So say them as if they already exist for you. Keep them positive. Avoid all words that are negative, such as no, not, never, don't, want, can't. Say everything in the positive tense. Keep them personal. This is my favorite. Affirmations must be from you, not for others. They must be based on where you're at and the programming that you want to reprogram for yourself. They need to be in line with your goals and what you envision for your success. Number 4, be precise. Describe in detail exactly what it is that you want and what you envision for your success. Avoid comparing yourself to your past self, your future self, or anybody else. And avoid vague words. Be precise and clear with the statements that you make for affirmations. Define concepts in your own words. Use your own words because when you say your affirmations, you want to feel like they are your affirmations. Number 5, make them powerful. Use emotional words that really pull at you, that make you feel as if you're in the present moment, feeling that affirmation. Create positive statements that excite you, that get you super excited about that person or that feeling that you're feeling because you really believe that that's you. Number 6, make it concise. You do not need long paragraphs. You want to be straight and to the point. You want to be as direct with your affirmation as possible. And I will give you some examples of some that I have created for myself. Use short, concise sentences and do not give a whole story. While I want you to be detailed, I don't want you to add a lot of extra fluff words. Number 7, make it possible for you. If you're currently in a situation where you create an affirmation that in your mind you honestly never feel like you can achieve, then it's not going to work for you. You're not going to stick with your affirmations. So create affirmations that feel like you possibly, with doing the work and taking the action, you can really see yourself believing that. Number 8, be persistent and consistent. Go after your goals. Make your affirmations real for you and be consistent with them every single day, because your negative self-talk internally and externally do not stop. They do not take a break. They don't take a break for vacation. They don't take a break on weekends. They are always there unless you combat them with positive affirmations. So be persistent and consistent. Now, I went through those 8 steps pretty quickly. Now, the affirmation guide that I shared with you that you can download at theproductivityspecialist.com/009 download will go into much more detail and walk you through how to create these affirmations customized for you. Before we jump into the next segment of our show, where I'm going to bring on my 6-year-old son for him to share his affirmations and how they affect his life, I'm going to share some of my affirmations with you. I choose foods that give me energy. I joyfully wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. I speak passionately, confidently, and effectively. I remember what is important and what I need to. My memory serves me well. I am a prolific content creator. I am fully committed to taking consistent, massive, focused action towards my goals and vision of success daily. I am so excited and joyful that I have within me the power to create. I consistently keep my commitments to myself. I invest in myself. The return on investment is priceless. I embrace the power of imperfect action. I am grateful for my health, my family, and my profitable business. I have an abundance of energy. I am healthy and my body is strong. Those are just a few of my personal affirmations. My list has grown over the years as new things bubble up for me, but you can see how personal those affirmations are. The first few affirmations were about my memory. As a child, I was in a really bad car accident and it affected my memory. And so I grew up always saying that I can't remember, that I don't have a good memory, because I was comparing myself to everyone else that seemed to remember such details from their childhood or remembered exactly word for word what somebody else said to them. And that had not been my reality. And so I had a tape recorder in my head about negative self-talk about my memory. So every day I affirm that I remember what is important to me and that my memory serves me well. You also heard quite a few about my health and energy. I want to affirm every single day that I'm eating healthy food that gives me energy, that I have an abundance of energy. That is important for my personal productivity. It's important how I show up in my relationships with my husband and my son. You also heard a few affirmations about my business, and that I believe that I have a profitable business that serves me. So now you can see how concise, how specific, and how they are in the present tense, and how I used all 8 of my recommendations on creating affirmations in the creation of some of my personal affirmations. Now, I've just got done sharing some of my affirmations, but I believe that my next segment I have for you with my son Erik will bring it home to you. Hello and welcome. I have my son Erik here. He is my guest for this podcast. And this is a guest that has been a long time in the making. He listens to podcasts with me all of the time. He's grown up listening to them while we drive in the car, and I take him to school and when we're driving around town. And he loves podcasts. In fact, he has some of his favorites that he requests us to listen to. Is that right?
Yes.
Would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself? What's your name?
Hi, I am Erik de la Garza.
And how old are you?
6.
6. And are you super excited right now to be on Mommy's podcast?
Yes.
Okay, we've been practicing off and on because he had an idea of being one of my guests, and now we are in episode a little bit down the road after I have launched my podcast, and he has been wanting to be on since the first episode as my guest. So now I have him on, and I'm sure you guys will hear more from him in the future. But today, as you know, we are talking all about affirmations, and one of the things that I do with my son almost every single day is affirmations, and we started these about a year ago. His affirmations have been an accumulation of things that I had just randomly told him on a pretty consistent basis, but I wanted to have it part of more of a ritual. And now over time, because he really enjoys affirmations, he's actually created some of his own affirmations and added them to the list that he says to himself and to me every single day. And Erik, what are your thoughts about affirmations?
I like them because it gets me ready for school. When I get prepared, when I say them, I don't know how to mention it.
You don't know how to say that, but it makes you feel better about going to school?
Yeah.
And so you do Jiu Jitu, and before you have competitions and stuff, does it feel good to say them before your competition?
Yes.
Do you have more confidence when you're done saying your affirmations?
Yes.
Now, there's some days, I'll be honest, that Mommy sometimes forgets to do your affirmations, and isn't it true that you're always reminding me because you enjoy them so much?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So what are some other things that you feel about affirmations? Do you think they're good for other people?
Yes.
When you have kids, do you think you'll do affirmations?
Yes.
Yeah. So the affirmations make you feel better. Now, sometimes he might have a bad day at school. And when I say bad day, we all have bad days, right? That we're not in a good mood.
Yeah.
He's always certain to say his affirmations the next day. And he'll say something like, Mommy, we got to say my affirmations because I'm going to have a
great day.
That's right. And most recently, what else do I ask you every day when you go to school? Do I say something like, what are your goals for today?
Yes.
And we have goals that I let you set for yourself. And so he has a color chart for behavior at school. And so he affirms and says out loud what color he's trying to get for that day. And so what color do you like to get for the day?
Purple, blue, and green.
That's right. And have you seen you getting better colors at school now that you say your goals?
Yes.
And then another goal that you've been having recently is about doing your minute math. And so we talk in the morning about your goal to do what?
Pass my minute math.
That's right. And you've been blowing right through all your minute maths all the time now, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome. So it's really good to have goals and to verbalize them and set your intention for the day. And that's something that we certainly do together. Hey, Erik, would you feel comfortable sharing your affirmations with our listeners today?
Yes.
All right, so just so you know, what I do is I have his affirmations on a notes app on my phone, and I have it with a reminder that is set about the same exact time that we should be leaving the house in the morning. So we say his affirmations either on the way to the bus stop or waiting for the bus, or if I am taking him to school that day, we'd say him on the way to school. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Erik, go ahead and start off with your affirmations.
I'm in control of my thoughts, my behaviors, and my actions. I adapt and overcome. I try hard. I make great choices. I am patient. I am reliable. I am smart. I am respectful. I am healthy and my body is strong. I am kind to everybody. I listen to my teacher and my parents. I am handsome. I love my family. I love Mom and Dad.
Yeah, you added that one recently yourself, didn't you?
Yes. I can read. I surround myself by talented people who support me.
Whose day is it?
My day.
Whose day is it?
My day.
That's right. And so those are his affirmations, and it's quite a long list, but it has been a list of affirmations that have grown over time that he's either requested to have on his list or that I feel like I want to pour those words into him. And so generally, this is how it goes. We're going to say them one more time, and we're going to slow them down, and this is how we interact with each other in the car. So go ahead and say the first one.
I am in control of my thoughts, my behaviors, and my actions.
Yes, you are.
I adapt and overcome.
Yes, you can.
I try hard.
Yes, you do.
I make great choices.
Every day.
I am patient.
Yes, sir.
I am reliable.
Yes.
I am smart.
Yes, you are.
I am respectful.
Yep.
I am healthy and my body is strong.
How strong?
Super strong. I am kind to everybody. I listen to my teacher and my parents.
Yes, you do.
I am handsome. I love my family. I love my dad. I can read. I surround myself by talented people who support me.
Whose day is it?
My day.
Whose day is it?
My day.
That's right. So generally, I'm usually chiming in and reaffirming the words that he says. And, just like you and just like me, there's some days that we read our affirmations and they just might not feel like they're resonating. And we're going through them as part of our ritual or our routine just to say that we did them. And oftentimes I can hear the energy change in his voice and maybe he's kind of saying them lower instead of being excited about them. And so I'll often challenge him to take it up a notch, to really believe what he's saying, and then we say them again. What is your favorite affirmation, Erik, that we say?
The last one.
The last one? Your favorite is I'm surrounded by talented people that support me?
Mm-mm.
Oh, whose day is it?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the last affirmation of I surround myself by talented people who support me is actually one of my affirmations. And so in addition to him hearing his affirmations, he listens to me say my affirmations, and that's one of my affirmations. And he really liked it and wanted it to be part of his. And so as we end right now in this segment of the podcast, is there anything you'd like to tell our listeners about affirmations and how you think it's helped you with your goals or maybe confidence or being happier?
No.
No, nothing extra?
Nothing else.
Okay, so I have a little story that I want to share about Erik. So Erik is actually here right now. It's spring break here in Las Vegas as we're recording this, and I signed him up for a really fun day camp. And when we woke up this morning, this little young man asked to come to work with me because he really enjoys being in the office. He enjoys being around me and my clients in the office. And I just had to soak that up because honestly, there's going to be a time that he's going to get so old that it's not going to be as important to hang out with mommy. It's going to be more important to hang out with his friends and have fun. And so I'm so happy that he's here today. And I'm so happy that we got to take this opportunity to record this podcast. Now, a little story that I have that happened most recently is I'm on the board of directors for the National Speakers Association. And Erik goes with me to a lot of business meetings and things like that. And he was with me at this dinner, and the guest of honor, the speaker that we had coming in to speak to our chapter, asked him, what did he ask you?
What does your mom do for business?
That's right. So he asked him, what does your mom do for business? Would you like to share with our listeners what you told him?
She helps other people with their business to lead them to success.
That's right. And he said it so fluently and so well at that dinner that the gentleman, actually, Brian, he paid him $1 and said that that was the best that he had ever heard such a young kid answer what his mom does. And I've never really told him that that's what I do. That's just what he's observed by me including him in business meetings and client coaching sessions and being in the office. And he loves to ask me what I do, and he loves to ask me how I help my clients. And so we often have conversations. And in fact, this little young man at 6 years old listens to podcasts with mommy, and then when we pause them or we pull up to the house and we're in the driveway and the podcast gets turned off, he'll give me business advice based on what he heard and how he knows that it would apply to my business. And so I'm really excited for this young man's future, and I'm really excited for whatever he decides to do. But what I do know is that affirmations on a daily basis help with his confidence. It helps with the results he gets in school, and I know that he has a very bright future. What do you think, Erik? You believe that too?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for hanging in there with us, guys. Thank you for meeting my son, Erik. I'm sure he'll be back because he has lots of opinions about business, and I think there's going to be some more that he can share with us that we can all learn. Say bye.
Bye.
Well, there you got it. A little straight talk from my son, Erik. Honestly, I'm certain, and I know I closed it out saying this, you are going to hear from him again. He is absolutely in love with the podcast platform, with the idea of being an entrepreneur. And I don't know what the future has for him, but I know he's got some wisdom that he can share with us. And I know that in some way, his segment will help at least one person, and that's all that we can hope for. Now, while I've loved you listening to Productivity Straight Talk, I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So based on what you learned, what will you take action on today? Are you ready to commit to yourself to create affirmations that will work to reprogram your unconscious mind to affect the success you desire in your heart? To share your actionables and receive support, guidance, and motivation from entrepreneurs just like you, join us on the inside of Productivity Straight Talk. We have a private Facebook group community. Go to productivitycommunity.com, sign up, and I'll send you a personal invitation to join us on the inside. So that's what I have for you today. There's my straight talk, and until next time, make it a productive week.